Hello everyone. As Chinese New Year is approaching, it will be soon on 17th February of this year. I want to talk about Chinese and Gregorian calendars and differences between them. How is the date of each New Year calculated and so on? How are they different? They come from different methods of measuring time. Chinese year is based on lunisolar calendar. This is a combination of moon and sun in its calculation. So luna means uh, moon, solar is from sun. So it's not just lunar calendar as some people claim. It's combination of lunar and solar coming from moon and sun together. Chinese calendar originates from ancient times and its current form solidified during the Han Dynasty between 206 BCE to 220 CE, Common Era. It divided year into 12 lunar months. Beginning of each month depends on phases of the moon. If it is new moon, a new moon starts. Lunar month lasts 29.53 days on average. 29.5 on average, approximately. Therefore, the whole year lasts 354.4 days. It's 11 days shorter than the solar year. To make up for the difference, every 2-3 years, a leap month is added. Now about some information about Gregorian calendar. Gregorian calendar is named for Western, commonly known as Western calendar. Western, all those Western countries, Europe, America. It was introduced in 1582 Common Era in Europe as an improvement of less accurate Julian calendar. 1 year counts 365 days in this system. 1 year is 365 days. It relies on solar year, the time when Earth orbits around Sun. However, one solar year lasts approximately 365.24 days, which led to the creation of a leap year. Solar year is slightly longer, 0.24 day longer. Every 4 years, 1 day is added to February to make it 29 days instead of 28 days. So February is usually 28 days, but on a leap year it is 29 days long. And leap year lasts 366 days. Remaining 0.24 day, this period of the day which is longer in a solar year, equals to 5 hours 46 minutes. So solar year is 5 hours 46 minutes longer. That's how much solar year is longer than Gregorian year. 0.24 times 4 is approximately 1. That's why 1 day is added every year, every 4 years. Every 4 years, 1 day is added. So now let's talk about the concept of leap year and leap month. In Chinese calendar, we talk about leap month. In Gregorian calendar, we have a leap year. So the concept of leap years is similar. Both calendars use it. However, Chinese calendar adds a whole month as a leap month, and Gregorian calendar only adds 1 extra day. Leap year in Gregorian calendar helps to anchor the seasons, as the short difference between the calendar year and solar year would lead to shifting dates of season. E.g., summer would start on 22nd June, not on 21st, and over time it would be even more delayed. So we would lose the count for summer. Summer could after a long time, summer would become autumn maybe, and it would be a very inaccurate measurement. Similarly, Chinese calendar adjusts its time using leap months in order to mark festivals and agricultural events correctly. The calculation of Chinese leap months depends on the lunar cycle and the 24 solar terms, which are the astronomical reference points used to align the calendar with the seasons. Okay, now look at these two pictures. First picture to the left is moon phases. Picture to the right is solar year. So moon phases, there are altogether the 4 main moon phases, such as a new moon, first quarter, full moon, and third quarter. We have additional phases, altogether eight phases. So the new month, according to Chinese calendar, new month start with the new moon. So the period of 1 month is from first new moon to the second new moon. This is 1 month. So when the new moon begins, it's the beginning of the new month. And Chinese New Year is on the first a month of the first new moon. Yeah, it's in the first new moon in the new year, it's beginning of Chinese New Year. So you see there is a crescent. It depends on the shape of the moon, how it looks when you look at it. But when new moon it doesn't appear on the sky because new moon is not visible to the naked eye. So when we cannot see the moon, this is new moon. That's how months are marked in Chinese calendar. We also see solar year. Why we see the Earth here in this picture. Earth is moving around the sun. It orbits around the sun, and it takes 365 days. 365 days, 0.24. This is the time. That's why we call it solar year. And the calendar is generally organized according to this movement to adjust the seasons and so on. The time of the seasons and so on, but Gregorian calendar is slightly shorter, 5 hours shorter. That's why we create this leap year. So the final question, but very important, why is the date of a Chinese New Year different every year? As you can see, this 2025 Chinese New Year fell on 29th of January. This year it will be soon on 17th February. But 2027 will be on 6th of February. So it fluctuates, it changes every year. So the main reason is that the solar year is 11 days longer than the lunar year. Therefore, it is necessary to adjust the duration of the lunar year to the solar year. See calculation, this is solar year, this is lunar year, so Chinese year is 11 days shorter. And this 11 days can be sometimes visible, hence sometimes Chinese New Year is 11 days different. It was like that in 2024-2025 period. You can see 2024 it was on 10th of February, but 2025 it was on 29th January. So it was exactly 11 days earlier. If you minus 11 days, it will become 29th, or it can fluctuate 11 or 12 days, something. That's why you see the sign is approximately. But if you ignore this change every year, then this difference would become huge and the date of the new year would not be according to the correct season, which should be in spring. You know, it's called Spring Festival, Chungjie. That's why every 2-3 years a leap month is inserted into the calendar, which brings back the date on its track and keep festivals in proper season. Right? If it's a constantly 11 days shorter, then Spring Festival would over time would become Autumn Festival. No, it has to stay anchored the right season. That's why when this falls short, then additional month is inserted. It brings back the time. It's similar phenomenon to Gregorian calendar, but solar year is only 0.25 day longer than Gregorian year, but Chinese lunar year is 11 days shorter. That's why this adjustment needs to be involve bigger number of days. And now for the last exercise today, I have a math exercise in which you can calculate if it is a leap year. Sorry, not gap year, leap year. We're talking about leap year. Leap year when February has 29 days. So how to calculate? Can you tell if these years are leap years or not? The rule is yes. This is the rule. If the year, for example, this year or that year, if this year modulus 4 equals 0, then it is a leap year. Modulus is, in other words, remainder modulus. And it is what is left after division, right? If you take, for example, if you take 5 divided, no, if you take 4 divided by 2, you get 0. But what will happen if you get 4 divided by 3? You get 1. 1 is left, and modulus, what is left, is also 1. Modulus is 1. So modulus here, nothing has to be left. After dividing, nothing has to be left. It will be 0. Then it is a leap year because it happens every 4 years. Special case is a century year. Century year is like 1800, 1900, 2000. So for this century year, it has to be one other condition has to be met. Modulus 400. Modulus 400 must also equal 0. But a simple way is most of the time, if the number is divisible by 4, it is a leap year. But they only include special case if it is divisible by 400. So you need, in order to check if the number is divisible by 4, you need to take a look at the last 2 digits. For example, you look at the last 2 digits here. So what does it create? 26. So is 26 divided by 4? I don't think so, right? So it should be, the answer should be not. Is 23 divided by 4? No, I don't think so. So again, the answer is not. Now we take 2000. 2000 year is a century year. So of course it's divisible by 4 because you have 2 zeros. It's divisible by 4, but you also need to ask if it's divisible by 400. 2000 divided by 400 is 5. Equals 5. So modulus is 0. Nothing is left. It's divisible because this is divided, but modulus is nothing is left. It's exactly divisible. So this one yes, this one not, because it's not divisible by 4. If you want to check it, I wrote a Python program which uses this rule. So this is the Python program, and let's run it. So we can see okay, I cannot see just a moment. Maybe now we can try. Okay, now we can enter a year. So let's first we try 2026. That was our first year. Enter a year, 2026. It is not a leap year, right? Because first it checks if this modulus 4 is 0. Then for century years it checks if its modulus 100 is 0. So this condition is for, this condition is for years such as 1900, 2000, and so on. So we check modulus 100, and together modulus 400 equals 0. So this is to check years which are the century years. But for all others, it matters if it's just divisible by 4. So you can enter another year. Let's run the terminal. So let's type 2000. Yes, this is a leap year. But if you take 900, 1900, let's enter a year, 1900, it is not a leap year. Okay, so that's how the program works, and this is the basic rule. You can use it for calculating Gregorian calendar. Leap year. For Chinese leap month calculation is more complicated, as you need to you need to include solar terms, and you need to know more about astronomical data. You need to include more astronomical data. Okay, but for that's all for this short lecture. I hope you find it interesting, and I wish you happy Chinese New Year, 新年快乐. Bye for now.